Thank you. Okay. Um, Last week we talked a great deal. Can everybody hear me okay real quick? Everybody, this is good? Julie, can you hear me? Ryan? Okay, awesome. Real quick, thanks. Um, Last week we spoke about the leads, the telesale leads through Gabe, and how that process is going to work. Um, he's going to get on today. Obviously, since the election, well, it's over, not over, but we'll be able to start running those ads. So we're going to provide that link. So he's going to jump on. He's going to be discussing. Obviously, Gabe's on. He's going to be discussing those leads, how we're going to go about things. He also has some folks on here that he works with that are going to talk to you guys a little bit about the leads as well. So that's going to be exciting. A lot of people have asked, are these good quality leads? He'll go over that. He'll share again his results on these leads. And just so that everybody knows, the folks that have been with us from day one will know we've always worked leads, always, no matter what company we've been with, we've always worked leads. Leads are your lifeblood. Okay. So having high quality leads is paramount. Okay. So I will only endorse leads that I know are going to work. Not saying they're all laydowns, not that they're all sales, but I will only endorse high quality leads. Okay. That's it. So I take leads very, very, very seriously, as does Julie, as does Nicole, as does Waylon, etc. So if we're endorsing them, I can assure you they are high quality. All right, so we're going to be going over that. Good morning. If you just joined, if you guys could mute out, that would be awesome. And again, I sound extremely rude when I ask that, but you get a lot of feedback if we don't. The other thing, Waylon, over the weekend, he shared with me some things that he's been working on. I'll let him explain a lot of this, but a couple things, and I'll go over this after he's done speaking. There's I don't always know this either unless I dig deep with him, because he don't like to share things when it comes to costs. A lot of times he just, well, I'll just take care of it. I'll take care of it. And when I started hearing, what he's spending a month, I'm like, whoa, that's not good to keep doing that. So he's been able to do some pretty cool things that I can let everybody know it's going to be very good, very efficient. So he's going to talk to about some things that are going to obviously piece things together. So I'm going to have Waylon jump in and talk about that first. He'll explain what he's been able to do. If you don't touch on kind of the why, I will go over that briefly afterwards, but I think he's going to hit a lot of that. And then we are going to let Gabe jump in, and Gabe's guys talk about the leads, how we're going to go about that. So first thing we're going to do, and I know Waylon's not feeling great, so he is a little bit slow on the phone or the answering underwriting yesterday and today. That's why. But Waylon, I'm going to mute out here. I'm going to toss the mic to you and let you know what you're putting together for everybody. Oops.
Awesome. Yeah. So number one, thanks everybody for making some time today and being available, this morning. We'll make this fairly condensed and digestible. So there's not like we have to go, too crazy with this, but do want to make sure that everybody's questions are answered and that you understand where we're going with this. So the big overarching thing with this is it's a CRM. So that's number one. We've developed and found and just through testing all the different CRMs and things available, we found one that does a very good job for our marketplace and insurance that you all will have access to be able to disposition all of your leads, track all of your leads, communicate with your leads, and touch base with them. It's a very quality system. So that's just the beginning phases of it, though. Not only is it going to help keep you organized so you know where you stand with all of your leads, you know where you're at as far as the sales cycle with them, and where you stand, which is obviously very important, rather than having just a Google Sheet or some system that you may have made up yourself. You have an actual system that you log into that shows you where you're at with all the leads that you've purchased, or you maybe have gotten from Gabe or any other sources that you may have. So it helps with the tracking, and it will also raise your just your profitability. If you get 1 or 2 deals from just being able to be organized, it's a big deal. Some other things that are built into this CRM, which is the exciting part for me personally, is this should be a one-stop shop for everything that you want to do. It's going to contain within the CRM, you'll be able to do contracting for any new carriers. You'll be able to go straight to carrier portals from this system. So instead of having to bookmark every single carrier and figure out where to go for the e-apps and figure out where to go for this, that, and the other, you'll be able to just click a drop down and go straight to that carrier portal from your CRM. And you'll also be able to order leads from this, or put in a lead ticket, so that we can recommend a lead source for you, which is also very nice. Again, the big thing with this, kind of step one is the organization feature of being able to be very organized with your business and really to save money as well. So when I say save money, I mean we're going to have unlimited quoting in this with CSG actuarial. You'll be able to quote final expense, med subs, med advantage, dental, vision, hearing, and hospital indemnities. Unlimited quotes for no charge right through the CRM. You click a tab that says quoter and you can quote right there. So you have quoting, you have the CRM feature, and we're also building out several other things as well. You'll actually be able to do contracting through this platform by the end of today. The Assurance Bay link will be built right in, so you don't have to, actually, go through several different sites to get contracting and things. So again, the biggest thing is this is going to be a one-stop shop for everything that you need to do, whether it be client related or back-end business related for you, adding a new carrier or running quotes or, finding a carrier portal to go check the status of pending business. You'll be able to do it all through this one platform, and keep things nice and easy, rather than, again, having multiple Google Sheets running around, having, 6 or 7 different platforms that you're using to track business, logging into the several different carriers, just having tabs and things open. So just for the sake of keeping things kind of simple for you, that's where we're headed with this. So again, obviously very, very excited to be able to offer something that it will organize your entire business and also give you ability to check, your business and check where you're at with everything really at any given time, as long as you have internet access. So that's kind of the overarching theme of the CRM itself. Like I said, we have the unlimited quotes. We also will be offering E&O coverage. A lot of you probably got the Forrester's email either today or recently about the E&O. We're going to pick up the bill on that as well for everyone, as long as the carriers are with us. You're covered and you're good to go. So we have that in place and in force as well, and it covers not only the life side but also Medicare and PNC as well. Johnny's doing a lot on that side, so we picked that up. And just trying to make sure I don't really forget anything. I don't want to oversimplify it. However, like I said, I can't stress the importance of having everything in one place. I mean, you can order leads from this platform. You can track all of your leads from this platform. You can run quotes from this platform. The cheat sheets will be built into it as well, so you can click on a tab and have the cheat sheet in front of you while you're making dials. And then if there's anything that you would like to learn from this, the actual developers of the platform themselves have done a phenomenal job of making tutorials and videos on how to make any changes that you may want to make yourself. So, if you want to figure out how to add leads, we can send you a tutorial video on exactly how to do so. So if there's ever a, well, how do I do this type of thing, you'll have plenty of access to step-by-step processes and how to do whatever it is that you may want to do. So it comes down to simplicity and really cost savings. So just to give you guys an idea, again, because really it's all about just full transparency on my part, the CRM itself is $297 monthly, and it's about to go up a little bit, which is no problem. And there's obviously a cost per user fee. It's very low, but it's $297 and like $5 per user, which is no big deal, which is part of it. And then the quoter itself, CSG, we're working on getting our own. Right now we'll be using Innovative, but there's a pretty high, it's an annual fee for unlimited quotes on an agency side. With that, for agency, I know it's about $75 a month. For an agent, it's about $30. I know FEX quotes right now is $20 to $25 a month, so a little savings there. The E&O coverage, you're looking at, I mean, between $40 and $50. Wouldn't you guys say with Napa is about what it usually runs for E&O. So that's included as well. And then trying to think what else here. Yeah, that's really the three biggest things: is the CRM, the quoter, and the E&O. They were kind of packaging together.
Direct mail leads also, Waylon?
Yeah, sorry, I almost forgot about that. So if you're a field agent, IF2's leads are very good. They're just a little pricey. They're in the $35, $36 range. We worked out a deal with the mail house directly that we'll be able to get those for $32. And you'll be able to order those right from the platform. So a little discount there. And then obviously having access to guys like Gabe and Johnny and those guys to order their leads is also a part of it. So again, what it comes down to is simplifying things down, saving everybody a little bit of money on their monthly, just bill for doing business, cost of doing business. That's really our approach here. And if it can help organize everybody, put them in a better situation to be successful and overall save people money in the long run, then it's definitely something that I think is 100% worth jumping on board. And Warren asked if you can enter your own leads. To answer your question, yes, absolutely. You can enter them. It's pretty nice and easy to do that. So, and again, I don't want to be the one speaking the whole time. So obviously there's probably questions about what's the interface look like, how does it work, et cetera, et cetera. As you get access to it, you'll be able to play around with it, do whatever you may want to do to kind of, check everything out and use it. And obviously ask questions from there. But is there any questions before we, really get everything started? And actually, yeah. So just so you know, to lump everything together, the price that we would be asking monthly would be $50 for the E&O, the quoter, the discounted leads, and the CRM system, just to cover that cost and keep us organized and give you guys access to everything. So, which should be $50 is less than FEX and your E&O together, just those two. So
real quick question, Waylon, is there FEX quoter on that, or is there just something similar like the CSG you were talking about?
Yep, so we have CSG on there right now. FEX, we are working on something, and just so you guys know, we're working with developers actually, and we're actually developing like all our own FEX quotes. Once that's done, which will be probably the first of the year, that will be on here as well. That's literally identical to FEX quotes, just has a couple of additional features like for door knocking and stuff. But right now it's just CSG. They're just a little easier to work with on the, on the agency side as far as having like unlimited quotes. FEX likes to do one by one, which you can't blame them for that. So
I think someone just put up in the text, it's overall for each one of us just $50 a month, and that includes everything you just talked about, E&O, insurance, and all of that, correct?
Yep, you got it. Yep, E&O, quoter, all that. Yeah, no, you're fine. And then Warren, yeah, so it's $50. That's for all the stuff we talked about. And then if you're running direct mail leads, it'll depend. So like $35 a lead for a direct mail lead is a little pricey. We can get them, like I said, for $32 basically. Like Gabe's leads that he's going to speak about are not, they're a lot less than that if you're doing the phone stuff. So it's all about profitability and making sure you have your margins. But yeah, that's usually 32 is a pretty solid price for a quality direct mail lead. So people, again, always comes down to profitability.
Judy, this will be available today to answer that question. I will share, like, Waylon was gone pretty much all weekend, and the amount of time that he put in to negotiate, mainly with the high level people, to get all this. Obviously, when you have high volume of people, they're more apt to work with you. And E&O, I know, is expiring for some of you, because I'm getting emails that some of our agents E&O is expiring. Just so you know how that works, we get a lot of our contracts through IFG. In the past, I'm not sure if they're going to continue this, because on their partnership side, you guys know they have a broker and a partnership side. Their partnership side, they're paying, I think Tyler told us, it's north of $200 a month. So every agent's paying at least $200 a month for E&O, their pay system, whatever. So they have that packaged in there. So I don't foresee them continuing to pay for the brokerage side E&O. So we were looking ahead. So we did get that. And then with some of the carriers that we don't have with them, we went ahead and got E&O for everybody as well, like your CVS, your Trinities, and whatnot. And as the carriers come up, we don't always have contracts through those guys. They're only going to cover that, obviously, the carriers that they have, that we have with them. So just looking ahead, we wanted to make sure that we had that blanketed for everybody. And that's not cheap. And so lumping that in has been good as well. So the thing that we run across, I know Julie and I went through this quite a bit when we were first starting, especially with Wayland, when we went independent, it seemed like there's fees for everything. Like, so much for this, so much for that, so much for this. And the other thing, it can get very confusing for newer agents, or even veteran agents, where you constantly have to go into different portals to write applications to house all that into one. All I can say is we are very fortunate that we were able to lump all this together to make this very easy. Our whole mission from day one is being efficient and profitable. Okay, so keeping everybody very profitable is very important. And the other thing is, I don't want to see one guy just continuing to absorb cost, which I know you guys don't want that either, because there's one thing in being nice, and one thing that you gotta put out there. So that will be available today, correct, Wayland?
Yeah, yep. We'll have the link sent out, and you'll be able to access this. You just bear with us a little bit on the back end of getting you up and running on the platform itself. It's very easy, though. All I really need is an email and a couple of other pieces of information, and you'll receive an onboarding link for that. As long as that's filled out properly, then we'll get you up and running and get you access, and then get the E&O over to you as well, of course. And then we'll be good to go. So
yeah, for sure. I know some
Wayland,
of you guys. Yep, go ahead. Sorry.
On the direct mail lead, did you say those would be from IFG or a separate mail house?
Yeah, they would be from IFG. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And it's actually the mail house, Rob, just so you know. It's pretty close to you. He's in Indiana. So it's the one thing I'll say about the reason we chose to go with that over some of you experienced guys have worked with some of the other mail houses we have access to, like YIG. The reason we chose to go with this one over say YIG is simply because of return time. Instead of waiting 6 weeks to start getting your leads back, that's the biggest killer, is waiting and then getting trickles of leads rather than the amount you order. With this house, we've had a lot of success in getting leads back within 3 to 4 weeks. Some of the agents on here have potentially or likely used the newer mail house, and I know like Kevin and Skeet and those guys ordered from the newer mail house and have been receiving leads pretty quickly. So and Johnny so YIG is extremely slow with how they return. That's the only reason we didn't use them. The price is great, the leads are great. It's just a matter of getting them, and that's the most important thing, is having leads in hand.
Awesome. Any other? I know for some of you guys that are kind of veterans just joining us, when you start adding up all your costs. I know Warren right away. That's a great deal. It is. I mean, it is. So that's one thing with us, with Waylon. He definitely wants to try to put everybody in a great position to keep your costs down. Okay, that's really the bottom line. So anybody else have any questions on that? I was pretty excited about that, to get that out to you guys ASAP, because I think that's super important. Anybody else have anything to add there on that package?
I have one more question for
Yes,
this
sir.
platform. Will we be able to use it for the Medicare side as well, or is this strictly for final expense?
No, you can use this for literally anything, Rob. So,
Okay.
you know, it'll be pretty customizable, and you'll be able to, again, it's just like anything, you'll get more and more comfortable with it the more you use it. But the biggest thing is you'll be able to, when you upload your leads, you'll be able to have like a drop down for Medicare and then a drop down for final expense. And the nice thing about this that I'm excited about on an agent perspective is the organizational side. So let's say you've ran a bunch of final expense leads and you got a bunch of 64-year-olds. Well, now you'll be able to find them a little more easily than getting out the box out of your garage that has all your paper apps in it. You can log into a system and hopefully find your T65s and whatnot and be a little more organized that way. So.
Absolutely.
And quick question, I'm sorry, Waylon. So you'll be able to,
No, you're fine.
so I know it's a CRM and it's a quoting and everything, and we'll also be able to do the underwriting in it, like with Best Plan Pro and everything?
So Best Plan Pro is something we're working on currently. It's not available right now. I hope to have it here very soon as a part of it. What we potentially can do is on a case-by-case basis, add it for folks like yourself that use it, you know, daily or case-by-case. We can discuss that, but right now we're just in talks. Right now it isn't something we finalized yet with them. Just a matter, honestly, what it is just cost. If we add that right now for everybody, they want $30 per person. So that's the only reason we haven't done it yet. CSG give us like a cost for everybody. That's why we're using that. Best Plan Pro wants $30 a head.
Got it. Thank you.
So some of you,
Sorry about
So-
that. My headphones disconnected.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So no, just a matter of getting that out of in there. So once it is though, obviously, we'll obviously keep you updated. And again, if you would like to have Best Plan Pro, we can get it added on your profile in the CRM without much of a problem. But we would likely have to charge a little bit of a fee. I'm not saying charge you the full $30. It's all about having the discounts built in there, but you know, it would be something we could add on there. So hopefully that kind of answers that question.
Yep, I think that's pretty good. And yeah, so I mean, the bulk of it is, in my opinion, obviously the CRM. I think everybody's got to have that. Like once you use High Level, you'll never do without it. Like High Level is legit awesome. We got all of our recruiting agents in that. That's been pretty good. But we just have too many agents saying or asking, like, oh, I just can't keep track of my clients, and I just, I write it down on a notepad and all that. Like, if you're in this business long enough, that's not a way to do business. So anyway, if you don't use a quoter, you don't use a quoter. I mean, there may be additional costs if you like certain things. That's okay, but we're always trying to negotiate and leverage to get things less for you guys. That's kind of what we do.
I have a question about the CRM. Is it the High Level CRM or is it a different one? I haven't used it.
It basically, it runs through High Level. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Good deal.
Will this quoter be able to do final expense term universal, like how FEX does pretty much all of it, but Best Plan Pro specifically right now, final expense? Will this one
Absolutely.
go across all?
So great question. So this one right now will do final expense, Medicare Advantage and supplement, hospital indemnity. So let's see, dental, I'm just pulling it up here, dental as well. It will not do term as of yet, but we will have a term only quoter on here added very, very soon. We're either going to go with Ninja Quoter or like a WinFlex software, which is very kind of intuitive. We're just trying to figure out how the software works together. It might be a little too heavy. WinFlex is something that you almost have to like download to your desktop to have, because it has like every carrier on the planet on it. But again, we're basically duplicating the software of FEX and hope to have that done here very soon, so that you'll have access to something that has the ability to quote everything. Because again, I second what you're saying, Ryan. FEX is my favorite as well. It's just simple. They keep it simple, and I like simple. So I'm right there with you.
Excellent.
So quick question. This is Robert Doyle. I came in late because I had an appointment.
Quite all right.
Here
What's up,
in
Robert?
CRM. Hey, good morning. I'm hearing CRM. I'm hearing Quoter. I just did an annual subscription FEX. So did you say this is FEX, not FEX? Because I just paid for a whole year subscription.
It is not FEX. It's CSG, which will have all your Medicare final expense as well. It's a CSG quoter. But so to piggyback though, we are working on a alternative or basically a duplication of FEX that we own. We have developers developing that, and we expect that to be complete and ready to go by Q1 of next year. So.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
Is this a dialer as well, or is that separate?
Yep. So they're building in a dialer as we speak. They're working on getting that built out and prepared. So they use Twilio, which is they have a dialer. Once that is done, obviously we may have to revamp pricing and cost, because that will be an additional cost. However, we do hope to have that available, here very, very soon as well.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
So if it doesn't have the dialer, does it have still the mass text and email abilities?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so you'll be able to do texting, emailing, ringless voicemail. That's all available.
Good stuff. All right.
I just
I
wanted
think
to
we're
chime quick. I use high level already, and this is Gabriel Brother Sean. I use high level already, and I've probably ran about 5,000 leads through there. It's super efficient. You get responses from people way more often. A lot of people. One lady told me she was very happy that she could control the situation versus being bombarded by calls, because a lot of people fill out leads from multiple vendors and they get bombarded and then they just give up. So it's worked very well. I'm excited about all the additions. I didn't know that those were on there until now, Waylon, the quoter and all that.
Yep.
But it works really good. You can do email campaigns as well, which I've just started doing. Because I was using Google Sheets, and I still use Google Sheets, and I'll probably still use that until the dialer is fully integrated. But overall, it's especially for telesales, it's a very effective way to come at people from multiple different angles. And I still will call them, but I'm moving more in towards first texting them, emailing them, and then calling them. But a lot of that stuff will be automated, and you can text them from different numbers as well, and they'll respond back, and they can even return a call back to you, and it will come straight to your phone. So it's super useful just for streamlining a lot of that. And like Waylon said, we've been using a lot of different CRMs that are just too bulky or too overly meant for real estate agents and stuff like that. But this one, you can kind of strip it down or tune it up however you want. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, one thing about telesales too is that if you listen to anybody on YouTube or anything like that about you know, how many times do you have to, you know, touch this person to contact them in some sort of way, whether it's a call or a text or an email. The average, you know, like touching is like 10 times. I have a campaign at high level where it will text them 7 times in a row until they respond, and it'll stop. So if they just text back stop, it'll stop, right? But in order to do telesales effectively, you're probably going to have to touch that person in some sort of way, whether it's an email or text or phone call. You're going to have to do it at least probably 10 times. High level makes that super easy so that you're not calling the person 10 times. That's a lot of action and time on your part to dial a phone number 10 times in a row and have it go to voicemail every time, or ring and then go to voicemail. So high level really cuts that time where I have to do something, it automates it. So
yeah, and you can seem like different people to them. I mean, a lot of people don't realize it's you over and over again. So that, you know, helps to go in with the whole contacting them more than once versus directly.
Yep, absolutely. That's good information. And I found the same thing when we're using high level for the recruiting. When you can send out, what I love about it is the follow-ups. So having those automated texts kind of until, like Johnny said, someone says stop, which you get very few of. It's reminders for them in a way to follow back up with people that maybe not responded right away. So having that automated is pretty good. I do want to be very, very, very efficient on the call because I know everybody's got things they need to do. So if you have any more questions about the package that Waylon's putting together, we'll reach out to us afterwards and we'll set up time to go over that. But he will get that information out to you today. We are going to do our best to get everybody blanketed immediately on the E&O, just because some of you guys are expiring here quickly. But now we're going to transition into Gabe's leads. What we spoke about last week, these are for final expense. These costs are straight to him, but he's going to explain how to go about ordering. You know, just giving you more feedback, and some of his guys are going to tell you a little bit about the success that they've had. Again, he's been using these for about a year now. I'll be honest, I think our production is going to go way up because you know exactly how many leads you're getting, and obviously the quality on them speaks volumes. So Gabe, I'm going to mute out. You got the mic, my man. Take it away.
Morning, everybody. Yeah, so we're really just right now, we're really focusing on the quality of our lead. We planned on starting campaigns, you know, getting at least orders in today, but we're just gonna hold off on that a little bit longer. I mean, it might be, you know, next week. I mean, we've been talking to people directly from Facebook, and there's a lot of stipulations and restrictions going on with the election right now. So, but what you'll be able to do, I can send it in the chat. You can go to the website and just look at the website. And I mean, it's a really simple process. There's no subscriptions or anything like that. Just order the certain amount of leads that you want, 20, 60, or 100. Like I said, with us, we've had it set up for a while, but right now nobody's really been able to run leads. So we obviously don't want people to purchase orders right now. So just hold off on that. We're going to have the website corrected here soon for that. But you'll just go to the website, order the leads. Our leads are coming in at a good pace, I would say, too. You know, sometimes we're getting 60 leads in a day for certain people, but, you know, with all these restrictions, we just don't want, you know, to bring out the product, because the quality for us is literally the most important thing. That's what we've been testing for so long. That's worked a lot, really successful for a lot of us, including my brother, Johnny, Matt, Corey, just a few other guys, my other brother, Alan. So that's kind of the process of ordering the leads. You know, next week, hopefully we'll be able to, I mean, it might even happen this week. I'm not really sure, but you know, with what Waylon is trying to help everybody integrate, I think from all standpoints, people are going to be able to have even better conversion because you have other sorts of autonomous people, you know, or systems helping you. You know, I think that's a really good thing to add. I know Sean and Johnny have been really using a lot of high level. What would you guys say for high level, like the conversion ratios, or what do you kind of expect? Do you guys have you guys kept any records of how much you've produced off a high level or anything like that?
Me personally, I haven't. I ran a bunch of old leads in initially when I first started messing with it a few weeks ago, and I probably got 4 deals out of like 5,000 or no 3,000 leads from like over a year and a half ago, all the way up until
Wow.
you know,
Okay.
because these people, a lot of them procrastinate, as you guys know, with this type of thing, with final expense particularly, and I just think I just think in this era, a lot of people are antisocial or don't want to be bothered, and they want to control things. And everybody's texting now, more than emailing, more than talking on the phone. As you guys probably know, a lot of people would rather just text emoji or something, and it leaves them in control. Like I was saying earlier, with specifically with telesales.
Right. So
Gabe, what I know a lot of the questions that we're getting. One second, I got a text. Okay. A lot of people are asking how many states do they need to get? So you definitely need to get at least 4 states. Okay.
correct.
You need to get 4 states. And Julie just had, if you guys weren't on last week's call, I need to point this out here real quick. The first, is that me? Ooh, that was loud. The first 5 people, the first 5 people that order these leads, I'm sending $100 to the first 5 people. So Julie just said you got to be on point next week. Gabe will have a list, like the first person that order, it'll go right down the list. We'll be able to see who's ordering. So the first 5 people that get their orders in, and we'll announce it. We'll try to give you a little bit of a heads up, so like people don't lose out on that opportunity of like, okay, hey, we are starting at this time. You know, as soon as Gabe will let me know, hey, at Friday at 2:00, just for an example, we can start running these. Or if it's Monday, I will post that. We will send an email out. So I want fairness, right? I don't want anybody getting mad like, hey, I didn't know. We will try to get it out, you know, as quickly as possible. Typically, I let the managers know. One thing I want to touch on, because we have a lot of folks on here, Sean and John, if you guys, whoever's using Gabe's leads, and you know, Gabe, you can chime in on this as well. What are some of the differences that you're seeing from these leads compared to other leads that you've used in the past? Can anybody touch on that real quick?
I could, unless
Okay.
Sean wants to do it.
Yep, go ahead. Either one.
So before I started using the leads that Gabe was generating, I used game time leads, like almost exclusively. When I first started doing telesales, I was buying game time leads all the time. Main reason being is because they were quick. They come to you really, really fast, but there's also a reason that they come to you really, really fast. It's because it says free, or it says something about that in there. Can you guys hear that beeping noise or whatever in my thing? Or is that just
I heard,
okay.
I heard it, but it's okay.
I think it's just whatever. You did? Okay. All right. Well, I have messages on my computer, so it's just whatever. Anyway, Game time leads are like they generally say something about free and free information and whatever. As soon as you put free in there, people just click on it just to click on it. And the majority of people that I would talk to were not interested in anything I was talking about because they saw free. So in their mind, when I try to tell them, you know, hey, this is a private thing that you're going to have to do on your own. You know, it's not subsidized by the government. You know, the prices are state regulated, but it is something that you'd have to pay for. They immediately were off, hang up the phone, whatever. And it was so bad for those first 3 months, those first like 2.5 months, that my mother-in-law told me that I should just go work at Amazon.
My God.
Like for real. So that's yeah, dude. I was in the field, I was doing great, and then I tried to do telesales for 3 months, and it's just a different way to try to sell to somebody and everything else. But on top of that, my leads were, you know, said free in them, so it was very hard to convert those people. I know for 100% fact, 100% fact, because I know what our ad looks like. There's nothing about it saying free or, you know, this is a free social security benefit. None of that garbage is in our leads. They might not come in as fast as game time, but they are vastly better quality.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Does
Awesome.
that answer your?
Yes, it does. That's good. I think
Right,
that's somebody else.
Yeah. I think you just were kind of inquiring about the general experience with the leads overall.
Yeah, just the quality that you've seen over these compared to other ones that you've maybe worked in the past. And Sean, I think you're pretty new to the business, aren't you? Is this like your first year?
I've
You've been around a while.
Me and Gabe actually are the ones that are doing the leads overall.
Okay.
We started just being in the telesales, and we decided to start doing our own campaigning because we were tired of the way that we were kind of being treated with leads, with the vendors being very mysterious and getting a lot of that free jargon and stuff like that. So we really did it out of necessity for ourselves prior to COVID. And then COVID hit, and we were already, almost a year in at that point. So it was a good, idea in the first place. But we've spent probably $1,000 on leads already, just buying leads, figuring out between me and Gabe. We've looked at the cost on our campaigns overall, and between buying leads and trying all these different things. And that's really why we're moving in this direction, because we feel like we've figured it out, and we feel like there's not a lot of lead generation companies out there that gone door to door like we have, that have done telesales like we have. So it's giving us an advantage for our own selves, because we're writing these leads as well. We're calling them, but if we give you guys leads that are going to convert better, you're going to come get more leads from us versus a lot. They just want to get as many leads as possible so they can sell you as many leads. And then most people, the standard right now is you get your leads and that's it. You're not going to, no one's going to complain to YIG or anything. You're going to get your leads and you're going to or not, and you're going to keep doing that, and that's kind of how it is. And yeah, people have complaints, but they don't, there's nothing you can do about it. So we kind of took our own complaints, and we perfected the lead so that they actually are removing that doubt, or removing, not the doubt, but removing those issues of people just not caring when they pick up the phone. So yeah, you got a lead, it was $15, $20, but they thought it was free. And you're still gonna get people that think it's free. I mean, I get people still that go, they
Right.
swear that our lead said that. But for the most part, that's very rare to happen. And keep in mind, these ads have to be constantly. There's a thing called ad fatigue and stuff like that. So we have to constantly come up with creative ways to grab attention. Attention changes every day. Every month, every moment there's different types of attention that goes on, and so people are in different moods, so we've learned what days are good, what days are bad, and we try to transition. And then also for anybody that wants to get just 4 states, that is our minimum, like we were saying. But also what we did was we would just go national. And if we close the deal, like especially with Mutual of Omaha and certain companies, you can write the deal without even having a license there. Or we would just hop on Nipper and get the license really quick, install or whatever. So we were doing stuff like that too, and investing. So for some people, if you want, you can just go on and say, I want national, and we exclude certain states typically because it's so hard out there. But those are options as well for people that really want to go full throttle with this, and you're faster as well.
We still will do New York. It's just that we won't want to have somebody focus on that state, but we can do New York. The other kind of hiccup is just the contractual piece, Todd, with the carriers. There's just a few options, but there are some there. So
okay.
Typically, I think like Foresters, Prosperity, and I think Columbian potentially.
Yeah. So if you have
awesome.
New York, we will definitely do it. But I've written deals in Hawaii. I've got several clients in Hawaii, Alaska, in totally different times our way that are, but the cool thing is about it is, the more states you have, the more you got to look at it like this. The whole nation is like this one big, consciousness, and people are, thinking on a larger scale. So if you have a bigger net out, you can pull out more. Of the attention or more intention to get insurance a little bit faster, I think. But either way, 4 states is just as good. But it's just about how you want to do it. If you want to reinvest your money quickly and buy states, you can do that. Some states are ridiculously expensive. We have a list going up on the website or a link where you can see the cost breakdown from the cheapest states to the most expensive. For people that want to because what I did initially, because I didn't have as much capital, is I would just buy the cheap states, and then build from there.
Sure.
Florida and Georgia are a little bit, you need an affidavit and stuff like that. But it's just, we're used to doing paperwork and stuff like that. So either way, you choose based on what you're comfortable with. But I wouldn't really hesitate with time zones or worry about those kind of things, because really it's just all the same overall.
My biggest advice to anybody who really wants to make money on telesales is, I know it's an expensive state, but get California. I bought California. I was like, man, this is like $200 and something. I made $3,000 in like 2 days.
Oh,
as soon as I bought my license. You just have to trust that you're going to make money off the states that you're getting. And the best way to do it is what Sean said. That's exactly what I did. I didn't trust it at first, though. I was scared. And Gabe was like, dude, just be confident in that you're going to fork this money out, but watch what happens. Watch what happens. And so I would just do a nationwide campaign. As I wrote the deals, or as I had a potential client in that state, go and just grab my license that day and pay $50 or $81 and whatever it was. But as soon as California came through, that state is so big, and there's so many people that I don't know if it's the sunshine or what, but they're pretty nice, shockingly, right? And that I literally wrote big deals, like 3 or 4 big deals in the first 2 days that I had my license in that state.
Yeah, and for a lot of people that are on the fence, if you're doing door-to-door right now and you're thinking about telesales, it's a different beast. It's not as easy because a lot of people are used to having bells and whistles in front of people and using these certain, moves and stuff like that. Whereas telesales, it's a numbers game. You want to call as many people as you can. We'll call our list of 100 people, over and over again. I'll go up my list and I'll go down my list the next day. But doing that is a part of it. Having the right mindset is a part of it. And what we're trying to do is to help, encourage people or coach people, because it also is not, it's also a very like, you can call it a spiritual thing if you want to call it that. You have to be in your mind intending this. You have to believe in it if you want to put down or whatever, but really focus on what you want to do and what your intentions are, and commit to that. Sometimes we start at like 10, 9 in the morning calling from Ohio, time zone wise, but when you're doing telesales as well, you're on call. I mean, someone might call you directly from some of our leads at like midnight, so there's a lot of, it's a very different thing. But the cool thing about it is going from door to door to tell that there's less risk. There's no gas. You don't have to worry. I've gotten bit by dogs at houses. I've been in houses with bed bugs everywhere. So you remove a lot of that cost and energy and effort, because if they hang up on me and they're like, no, I'm not interested, or they tell me to call them back later, I didn't drive an hour. So if you can handle door to door, you can definitely handle telesales. It's just a matter of switching your mind. And yeah, you're sitting in an office, so you're not moving around. Those are things that really, that I found that helped me to excel with telesales.
That's awesome. That here's the neat thing about this whole thing is you have guys who are actively working the same leads. So everybody knows that, you're not going to keep using the same leads if you're not making money. These guys are obviously doing very well. A couple of those guys, Gabe and his brother Sean, they're both near 300,000 in production, just in final expense for this year. That's pretty good. Okay, so that's using these leads. So again, do you have to use these leads? Absolutely not. But when we know that the content, the quality is there, I would lean on people that are having success with it. You're going to find thousands of vendors out there with all kinds of fancy names of lead vendors, and theirs is the best, theirs is guaranteed, all that crap. We've seen, make sure I have good English here, we've seen a lot of agents burn through a lot of money jumping around from lead source to lead source. So definitely appreciate, I honestly, I was hoping we'd be able to get these leads out today, but I appreciate the fact of the honesty of guys. If they say, hey, we're, because of what's going on, we're going to postpone this, because these guys could easily just start scraping up a bunch of money and, oh, hey, we're having all kinds of issues. So those are the kind of people we want to work with, people that are honest, that are going to put you guys in good positions to have success. So again, I know we're going to try to set up calls like these type of calls on potentially Wednesdays, and it will be more about I don't know if I want to call it training, be kind of some training, some tips and tricks, whatever we want to call it, on Wednesdays with Gabe and some of his guys. That way you guys have ongoing support with these leads. So we won't have huge announcements every week. We don't do that, but when we have something that we feel is very, very beneficial for you guys, we want to jump on right away and let you guys know. I will say, for all new agents, that package they have to get. It's not even, if they don't, then they're not with us. I would highly recommend all of you that, whether you're in the field, telesales, to have all that in one location. You could say, well, I don't need the quoter. That's okay. You need E&O and you need the CRM, and you're going to be way more efficient if you have it in one location. and take advantage of, there's always a strength in numbers. You're not going to be able to go to any of these companies and negotiate when you're one person, but when you have hundreds, you can. Okay, so take advantage of being a part of that. So I know we're nearing 10 o'clock here. Again, I know it's prime time for you guys to hit the phones. Definitely appreciate you guys jumping on. Be on the lookout for that link to be sent out to everybody today, as far as the package that Waylon was talking about, and you guys can jump on that right away. Gabe, when the leads are ready, when you're ready to take orders, he will let me know when that is going to happen, and then we'll let you guys know when that's going to be released. All right, so that nobody gets cheated out of being in that top 5. I wouldn't want that. So with that being said, thank you everybody. Waylon, Gabe, Sean, Johnny, definitely appreciate you guys sharing all your knowledge for sure.